Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to part 6 of the Adobe Illustrator 2019 playlist. What we're doing today is we're going to use a tool and a menu called Pathfinder, and the tool is called -front. Okay, so in order to use that tool, we have to come up with some kind of project, and that project is to create a CAD-bus, which is, if you've ever been on a campus of a college or anything like that, you'll see that they have these clean natural burning buses that ride around on campus and bring students from place to place. Alright, so what I want to do first is I want to show you what -front does, and then we'll go from there and make that project. Okay, so what I'm going to do on my document here is I'm just going to draw a box around everything that I've already created, and then I'm going to click anywhere on one of those lines and just move this out of the way, and I'm going to draw some stuff down here. Okay, so the way -front works is you have a shape, or you can really draw anything, it doesn't matter what it is, and then you have another shape, and you can see by the layer system, which should be, if I go back to automation, you see layers down here, and if I drop this arrow down, you'll see that, well, okay, so I got a lot of stuff going on in this drawing, but you'll see the two most recent things that I've created here is my ellipse and my rectangle. Whatever's on the top here is the one that's on top, so you can see that even better if I go to change this color, and now you can see that the blue is on top of the black. Okay, if I wanted the black one to be on top, I would click that, I would do a right click, go to arrange, and bring to front, and that'll put that one on front. Okay, so the way this works is you go to window, you go to Pathfinder, which this should be alphabetical, and you'll see a couple different options in here. One of those options, so unite would be to put two things together, -front is the one that we want, intersect is to take, kind of like in our AutoCAD videos, to take where the two meet each other. So if I were to go like this and I were to hit intersect, I would just get the two areas that were touching or intersecting each other. This would give you the outside exclude, so the areas that are not touching. This one here, like I said, is just unite, so I've got to select these first and then hit unite, and that puts those together and makes them one piece. Or like I said, if I did -front, select these first, -front, it's just going to cut the black out of the blue, and you get something like that. Okay, so we use that for the wheel wells here because we're going to create this big shape going all the way around, and then we're going to cut the wheel wells out. Alright, so here we go. A lot of lines in this one. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to start with the line tool. I'm going to go back to Essentials Classic because I feel like you see the most tools when you have that available. You're going to go to line segment, and you're going to draw basically all of these different lines here. So the first one is create a line 0.25 at 270. So 0.25 at 270, and hit OK. And by the way, my stroke color right now is actually off, so you can see that my line is right there, but I got to put some kind of stroke color on. That way I can actually see those lines. Then you're going to click your selection tool, and you're going to click off of there, go back to the line tool, and start at the newest anchor, which is at the bottom. The next one here, and you can see it on my screen if you wanted to just pause and go ahead, otherwise it is kind of a little boring. 0.1 at 0 degrees. So we're going to go 0.1 at 0. We're going to click off, go back to the line tool, and it's kind of tedious that you have to click off, and I don't really like that about this software, but it is what it is. 0.8 at 270. Because if you're just in the line tool and you don't click off, you can't get that anchor point, and that's the problem. So you click off and then you go back onto the anchor. Let's see, that one was 0.8 at 270, so this is 0.2 at 180. Click off. This one is 0.8 at 270 again. Uh, 6.2 at 0. So that's going to go to the right. We got 0.7 at 15. So it's just basically the distance and the angle. That's all we're doing here. And we got 1.67 at 90. Now this is just something that I made up. It's nothing nothing crazy, but it looks like a bus. 1.5 at 180. We got 0.3 at 120. Okay. We got 4 at 180. Almost there. We got 0.4 at 220. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take that line tool, so click off again, grab the line tool, and just go from this anchor to that anchor. Okay, so now in order to do that, you can't just click because it's going to ask you the distance. You're going to click and hold and then release when you're on this anchor. And then the outline of the bus is done. Okay? Alright, so then what you do is you're going to select all these lines by drawing a box around them. Okay? Or if you didn't want to draw a box, you could click them and then hold, I think it's hold shift and keep clicking more lines, which is a little bit more tedious as well. So just draw a box around them. You're going to go to the Shape Builder tool, which again, you should be on Essentials Classic in order to see this. Right here, this is called the Shape Builder tool. If you see Live Paint Bucket or Live Paint Selection tool, it's behind those. So what you're going to do is you're going to hold that click there, and that'll get you the tools that are behind. So Shape Builder tool. Okay. When I go in this area, you see there's like a gray hatch. You click, and that creates that solid shape. So now that's something that I could fill if I wanted to. Okay. In this situation, we're probably going to fill it white. We're probably going to make our outline black, and then we go from there. Okay. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to create, let's see, we're going to make rounded rectangles, okay, and we're going to make 4 of them that are 1 by 0.75 with a 0.1 corner radius. So if you go back behind the ellipse tool, you'll see the rounded rectangle tool, which I was looking for in one of my other tutorials. I couldn't find it because I wasn't on Essentials Classic. Alright, so you're going to click here, and you're going to do 1 by 0.75, 0.1 corner radius, and hit OK. And we need 4 of those. So when it's selected like this, I'm going to do Control C, and then click off and do click off, do Control V. And if I do that 3 times, 1, 2, 3, there are now 3 of them here. And I can use those to line up to be my main big windows here. Okay? So now, there is no specific position of where these should go. Just keep them straight with each other, and you may have to move them later on depending on the space between the windows and so on. Okay. Next thing here, those are the main windows. Create 2 rectangles that are 0.75 by 0.5. So this is 2 regular windows, or 2 regular rectangles. You're going to click anywhere, and you're going to make those 0.75 by 0.5, and you hit OK. And we're just going to make a copy and a paste of that one. And in order to move this one, we got to be back on our selection tool. If you don't want to have to go up here every time, you could hit V. As you can see up in the top left corner, you have a V in parentheses. That's just the shortcut to get there. You know, if you're in the line tool, you can do the, I guess, the sideways parenthesis, or the slash, I guess. Alright, so here we go. 2 rectangles. These are the back windows of the bus. Now those should have been rounded corners. Find the rounded corner. Create 2 rectangles that are 0.7. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed this. With a 0.1 corner radius. So we got to do those again. Back behind here, rounded rectangle. That was 0.75 by 0.5 with a 0.1 rounded rectangle, or rounded corner. Copy paste. Now you got 2 windows in the back. Okay, so I can already see that these need to be shifted. Whoops. Now when you go to draw a window like that to get these, it's going to accidentally select the other one. So hold shift and select that in order to deselect the ones that you don't want. Okay, and you get this. So now I'm looking at mine, and I'm just trying to match up that front window with where I think it's got to go. And then I'm going to kind of slide this one back here somewhere. Maybe they can move a little bit more forward. Alright, but you guys are going to be the ones to do that. Create 1 rectangle that is 0.75 by 0.75 with a 0.1 corner radius. That's the driver's window. So again, that's another rounded rectangle. It's 0.75 by 0.75 with another 0.1. That's just the fillet. That's just the corner of how round it is using the radius. All right, and we get something like that. Oh, and some of these are a little off of each other. Make the tops even. All right, something like that. Okay. Let's see. Position all the windows like mine. Create two. By the way, this is mine. I didn't take this from the internet. Okay. I just like to read the directions because there's a lot of numbers to know. So we're gonna create two rounded rectangles that are 1 by 2 with a 0.5 corner radius. Okay. So this is going to be a little bit different looking. When you click down and you do your 1 by 2 at 0.5 is a bigger radius, that should give you a rounded end like this. And what you're going to do is you're going to take those rounded ends and put them where you think the wheel well is. So here's another one. I'm going to line them up first and make sure that they're straight to each other. And that would be right about there. You can see the midpoints line up. And then you're going to slide that over until you get to about here, staying on that pink line. Okay? These I'm going to fill with a color. So my fill, because these are not going to stay, what I'm going to do is, you can see these are, whoops, you can see that these are clearly above the bus. Okay, make sure that they are. If not, right click, arrange, bring to front. And what you'll do is you'll click the bus, you'll hold shift, you click this, and you click that. And now you've got three things selected. We can go back to our window Pathfinder and we can do minus front, and it cuts that out. Now you'll notice that the bus just jumped to the front. We have to select the bus again, go right click, arrange, and send to back in order to get behind our windows again. Anytime you manipulate a shape like that, it's going to bring it to the top layer. Okay. Past that point, make sure the wheel wells are above the bus. We already talked about that. You may have to send the bus behind the windows again. We talked about that. Create two circles, one that is black, size 0.8 by 0.8. So you can go to the ellipse tool. You can click anywhere on the screen just one time. 0.8 by 0.8 is going to be our wheel. That goes right in there. Copy, paste. That one's going to go in there. Okay. 0.8, the other should be, so let's see, right click on the bus, go to arrange and click send to back. Bus, create two circles, one that is black. The other should be a light gray, size 0.5 by 0.5. Okay, so we got another one. So we click down the ellipse tool, 0.5 by 0.5. These are going to be filled black. So again, I'm holding shift and I'm clicking this circle to select both, and I'm going to make the fill color black. Okay, the stroke doesn't really matter at this point. The other one is going to be a light gray. So you could do something like this. That one you're going to put in the middle, and you're going to do a copy and paste. And that's going to go in the middle of that one. Okay, so we got our wheels pretty much. All right. Next thing, this is the wheel of the bus. Copy and paste this for a second wheel. So the last thing I want you guys to do is I want you to Google the Blue Loop CAD bus, which is a bus that actually runs at Penn State University. And you're going to get a picture that looks very similar to this. You don't have to Google it if you don't want to. You can actually just look right at mine here. But what I want you to do is I want you to add the detail that you would see on this bus onto your bus. Okay? So basically you would have like another rounded rectangle here. You'd have a regular rectangle. They can have 0.1 corner radiuses. You can put little ellipses that you fill orange, and that could be reflectors. You can do text. You guys know how to do text now. I want you to take a shot at this exhaust pipe here. It's a little bit different, but I'd probably use the pen tool to do it, and just pretty much everything else. All right, so you already have the outline of the bus. Now you just got to dress it up and make it look like the actual bus. Okay, and outside of that, there's really nothing else to learn in this. This is more about the Arrange Pathfinder tool than anything else. But like I said, you do have to dress it up and make it look nice. Some people always ask me about this red shape here. What you do is you create a rectangle. And let's just say that rectangle is like this. Then you're going to use this tool, which we haven't used yet. It's called the Direct Selection tool. And you're going to click on this path here, or this point. And, whoops, sorry. You're going to double click on that point. And you're going to drag that back. Let's see if we can get this to go here. Okay, double click and drag it back in order to get that angled shape that I have on mine. and everything else is easy stuff. It's just boxes and circles and text and so on. All right. So if you're one of my students, you're going to show me this tomorrow once you're done, and I'm going to put that in the gradebook for you. If you're somebody out there in the abyss, you know, feel free to just go ahead and you know, you just learned the minus front, or you can go into the bus and make the bus yourself. I would make the bus because it's graphic and it's helping you learn the software. All right. But I'm not going to go through the rest of it because you guys, you know, you can see what it looks like here. All right. So I appreciate you guys watching. This was number 6 of the Adobe Illustrator 2019 playlist, and there'll be more videos to come. All right. I appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot.